Why do I use the term wedge? Now, I've used the term wedge for 25 years. Quite a few other people use the term fence, which is fine. But the reason that I use wedge is because to me, a wedge is proactive. You know, a fence is defensive and a wedge is proactive, it's offensive. So I use a mindset that has got to be strong, it's got to be powerful. And we talk in terms of how an animal hunts. Because if you think defensive, when somebody's going to attack, you're going to be thinking of going backwards or trying to stop that person from coming in. But I think you should hunt the person. Once you decide the fight is on, then you've got to look in terms of you know what you're going to do and you're going to do it. Whatever they throw, don't think of blocking. If you think about blocking, they're probably just going to walk straight through you. So you need to be able to develop skills to be able to ignore what they're doing to you. So like an animal, when it hunts, it's not thinking, oh, it might attack me. It's just looking for its dinner. So in a sense, you should be looking for your dinner. You should be looking to just get the job done. So hunt the other person. So developing our mind from the principles, our mindset, hunter's mindset, animal mindset. So that when you go in and you deliver, you're exactly like an animal attacking. And if you watch the dogs, when two dogs meet, you get one dog will go, his back come up. Yeah, well, we talk about raising the chi up the back in exactly the same way. So you develop raising the back. The eyes are strong. So when your back is up, your mind is strong. Now you like that animal. When the dog attacks, he goes, it just does it. Yeah, so you've got to have this explosive mindset when you want to do it. Whereas if you're thinking like panic or just attack, then you're probably going to be too stiff, too awkward. Your movements are going to be just panicky or aggressive. So don't think aggressive, think hunter, like an animal. So here, the principle of the wedge is to get back. It doesn't matter what he throws. We use the idea, the Chinese say, child prays to Buddha. Because the adults pray like this with the joss sticks and the child is like that going, what's going on? You know, here. This is the position. If you look at any of your, whatever you do in karate, your blocks would start from these points. This is the Chinese would say the jeet point, the point you intercept the opponent. So the point you touch the opponent. For me, from a self-defense point of view, that's the most important point. If at that point you're blocking, then the opponent's just going to carry on. But if you're wedging, you just go straight through. So the important part here is when his arms are up, the arm will wedge through. So even as he punches, the arm will just come straight through. As he punches, come straight through. So it can be on any of these gates. It can be this way, this way, this way, this way. It doesn't make any difference. Whatever he throws, we're just going to wedge it and just go straight through. If it's preemptive, you're still wedging anyway, even if there isn't anything there. So the idea being, once you've made your mind up that you're going to hit him, once you know it's on, once you know this is going to go to a fight, there's nothing defensive in it. The idea is you're just going to wedge straight through. It's like the prow of a ship cutting through the water. It could be his arms, legs, body, head. It could be your hands. It could be your elbow. This is a wedge. This is a wedge. This is a wedge. So the idea of the wedge principle is that anything slips and enters in through him. So this is why the wedge is a principle, not a technique. Now we're thinking of it here specifically in terms of in our mind. Every time our hand comes out, even if we're going to perform a blocking or trapping type of movement, you wedge first. Now you think of your katas or your forms. Think of every time you bring your hand to that point. So even if you were going to block, you bring your hand to this point first, that's a wedge. So in your mind, that's a strike. When you bring this hand to here, this is a strike. So you've got two wedges in every block that you might have within your karate system. Look at locking or throwing. So every time you lock an arm, this is not strong, this is, because it's on a wedge. It's on this shape. This is the way the arms are strong to the body. Now the other part of what we're doing, we need this aliveness to go through the body. So it's soft, it's not stiff. right? But it's alive. So when we talk about soft, I don't mean relaxed, but the wrist is soft, the elbow's soft, the shoulder is soft and down. The whole body is alive but soft. The posture's good. The Chinese say you thread the 9 pearls. From the feet to the hands, you're internally connected. Your body works best that way. This is the way it's strong. So when you use a wedge, you're not going to stiffen the arm, you're not going to stiffen the body, but this is connected to the feet. So even if you deliver the lightest of blows, if it comes from the feet, you know, it's connected all of the way through. It's going to carry power. If he's coming forward at the same time and this goes into his face, that's what's going to make it really effective. So here we're actually talking in terms of, you know, making your feet work to deliver the power, make your postural alignment correct. And if you go back to the 8 principles, the mindset has got to be right. And we're using the wedge and we're using power sourcing. So you can see from the feet, as we move the feet even slightly, we're going to deliver power. So a slight movement of the feet and a slight spiraling movement of the body means that any attack that he's going to come in with, when you move in, you move forwards, you move your feet, because that is going to move all of your body weight. You're turning the body and spiraling it. The arm is coming up to the wedge point. I like to use an open hand because it's not offensive. If you're on CCTV or there are other people around or whatever, you're not being offensive. If you just punch or hit someone, that's definitely offensive. But if you say something like, no, stop, move your feet slightly, bring your hand up, you can quite fairly say, I put my hand up and said stop. So at this point, when he comes in, if you move slightly back, as he comes in with his punch, both feet come in, come straight in. This is the point where you can hit straight into the face, and from there, if need be, you can claw, go into a clinch, grapple, take him down from there. So every single technique that we do, we use hunter's mindset and we use a wedge first. So even if we then deliver a block, a trap or whatever, in our mind, the first part of the movement is always offensive, hunting, not panic, not tense, relaxed, soft, internally connected, powerful, moving all of the body weight, moving it into a spiraling fashion. We'll go more into power sourcing later on. And normally I would deliver with an open hand, but can also be done with a fist, which is your basis of the jab punch. Okay, so this is the idea of the wedge, and don't forget, it can be any part of the body. Wedging is a principle, not a technique. So you might be wedging with your head, your shoulder, your hip, your knee, your leg, your foot, almost any body part. Thank you.